Hello and welcome. I'm Alex and I will introduce you to some more details about regions of interest in Rain Vision System Analytics. I opened the ROI dialog by pressing on Regions in the main application, and now I can start placing region of interests. Region of interests are areas where the analytics application is analyzing objects. You don't need to set a region of interest. You can also set the whole image basically as a region of interest, and all objects in the image will be analyzed. But usually you want to set one region of interest per plant to keep them separate. And that's what we are going to do right here. There are different options available. We will talk first about the placement modes. I will place circular, ROIs, and individual. I can enter a radius. Let's start with 50, and now can start placing them by just left-clicking on either reference image. The last ROI you set is always highlighted in yellow. This means it's activated, but you can always also activate previous ROI by clicking on them. If the ROI is activated, you can actually change their parameters, for example, the radius to 30, for example, and also keep going setting new ROIs with the same settings. So in this case, we are pretty done. All plants have their own ROI, but I now want to show you the different shapes. So there is a rectangle version as well. You can set the width and the height. Then an ellipse version. You can also set the width and the height. And then the polygon. This will remove the previous ROI because you need to start creating your own ROI. It's basically an individual ROI. So you just start by left clicking and it will create a point. And if you left click again, it will make a connection to the new point you clicked at. Well, you can do this. And when you are satisfied with the shape of your polygon ROI, you simply do a left double click and it will end and finish and close the polygon ROI. So this is one ROI as well. I will remove this now because in my case it makes much more sense to have a circular ROI, and to remove a ROI you just right click on it. Alright, now let's talk a bit more about the other placement mode, which is the matrix mode. If I now select the matrix mode, it will clear all existing items. It is not the other way around. I will show you in a bit. So the matrix mode basically is an easy way to set multiple ROIs at once, especially if you have the plants spaced in a regular pattern, as I have here, for example. So here I have 2 ROIs and 3 columns. I will just start by left clicking on the top left edge, and I can place my ROIs like this. I can add columns afterwards. I can add rows afterwards. But right now I might just only play around with the radius. Here we go. I have the 2 images to check if all my ROIs touch or overlap with plant, and they do. So this would be fine for me. It's also best possible to change the different shapes, but it's not, polygon is not available. It's only possible to select rectangle and ellipse. Right. Now a few words about the different detection modes. There are 3 different detection modes available: partial, cut-to, and largest. I changed the ROI setting a little bit to demonstrate what the different detection modes do. First, let's talk about partial. So partial basically leads to the analysis of all objects that partially overlap with the ROI. In this case, the ROI overlaps with 2. This is the left plant and the right plant. So we expect that those 2 are analyzed together. Let's see. I already prepared the script options. So what we can now do is, first of all, we create a ROI overlay and press Create Preview. Here's what you can see. It will analyze both objects, the whole object as well, together. Now let's go back to regions. So the next mode is Cut To. This will cut the analyzed area or object right where it overlaps with the ROI. So previously we saw that also this part was analyzed. This won't happen if it's set to Cut To. Then only this part inside the ROI will be analyzed. Let's check it out. As you can see, not the whole plant is analyzed, but just the part that is overlapping with the ROI here as well. Now, last but not least, let's look at the detection mode largest. So before you could see that there are two objects in here, and if you select them in the same ROI, the whole object will be analyzed together. So although there are in fact two separate objects, they all will be analyzed as one. If you set the detection mode to largest, it will basically work like partial, but it will only analyze the largest object. This means in our case, probably only the left plant will be analyzed. Let's check this out. Right, only the left plant was analyzed because it's the largest part. So that's it. If you are unsure which detection mode you should use, I recommend you to use the default, which is partial. And usually you should always have one ROI per plant. That's my recommendation for you. Thank you very much.